This is episode 27 of the Brand Authority Podcast. Today we're going to talk about how you can manage social media without losing your mind.
This is the Brand Authority Podcast, the show for growth-driven leaders who want to win more customers, increase revenue, and gain the competitive edge. Broadcasting from sunny Los Angeles, here's your host, Rebekah Radice.
Well, hello and welcome back to the Brand Authority Show. I am Rebekah Radice, and I am so thrilled to be back here with you today. You know, I just spent the last few days in sunny San Diego, as you probably know. I'm in the Los Angeles area, so it's about a 2.5-hour drive. And every single year I get to speak at Social Media Marketing World, the largest conference for social media professionals. And I have to tell you, the energy is absolutely off the charts. It is incredible. So this year I did a workshop, so a little bit more hands-on, a little bit longer too, a 90-minute talk about how to use visual marketing within your business. And so just a quick shout out to the over 500 people that showed up and made it such an amazing day. We had so much fun. As I said, a lot of hands-on. I talked about a lot of new data. So I just completed a 90-day case study around visual marketing and how you can stack your content for maximum engagement. And I'm going to share that data in an upcoming episode of the Brand Authority Podcast. But in case you want to check out those slides and a free download that I offered, this is super cool. If you're trying to manage your social media, and that's what we're talking about today, well, you probably get sick and tired of creating a whole lot of different templates for your social channels. And so I've put together the one size that fits all, and you can download that along with those slides at go.RebekahRadice.com/SMMW18. So that's for Social Media Marketing World 18. Now, some of you might have seen last week that I shared some big changes going on in my world. And if we're not connected on Instagram, let's do it. Instagram.com. It's just Rebekah Radice. So hop on over and say hello. But I share a lot of things that I don't share anywhere else on Instagram. And so I put out there that I've got some big life changes that are happening. The really cool part is my husband and I both work from home. So we're very flexible in that whole idea that you can work from anywhere. And we have decided that we want to travel. We want to get out and see the world. All of this came because we were trying to decide, where do we want to end up? I am born and raised in LA. I love California. My husband does as well. But we also know that there's a big world out there. And we decided we're going to take the time to see a whole lot of different cities around the United States, but across the world, and really decide where we want to land. So our motto for this year in 2018 is live out loud. And I don't know if this resonates with you, but you know, you can get so busy running your business, so busy leading and living your life that you don't take the time to combine the best of both worlds and really allow you to live your best life. And so for us, we are very fortunate. We're in a new season within our lives where our kids are raised, our kids are out of the house. Well, one is moving out of the house as a part of this process. And so it's exciting, you know, to see them living their best lives. And it's time for us to do the same. But with that comes some huge changes. You know, I look at social media and all that it requires to manage, whether it's your personal brand, whether it's your business. So for me, it's both sides. Whether you manage social media for customers customers. Anytime there's an upheaval or a change or something going on in your world, let's just say that you have an unfortunate situation, somebody gets sick, or worse, somebody dies within your world, and it just turns things upside down. You've got to have systems and processes in place that allow you to streamline what you're doing, that allow you to easily keep going on those days when it's not quite as easy, or when there is something that throws you for a loop, and now you gotta go with the flow. So I wanted to talk about how you can manage your social media without losing your mind, without going totally crazy, and allow yourself to fall into a groove with what you're doing so that you're not overthinking everything you're trying to post, and you have everything in at least a 1 to 2 or maybe 3 different locations. So it's very easy to grab, to post, to interact, to get in front of your audience without it feeling heavy and overwhelming. So let's jump right in with number 1. First and foremost, you need to be strategic. And I know I've talked a lot about this in previous episodes, but if you've ever hopped onto the internet, you've perused Facebook, Twitter, and all of a sudden you've wasted an hour, you know it's really easy to do that, especially if a hit or miss strategy is your sole plan. And no shaming, because believe me, it's very, very easy to do. You get into Instagram, and before you know it, you've double tapped yourself into a lost hour. But to succeed in today's hectic online world, you are going to need a social media strategy that offers focus every single time you get online. Not only does your strategy allow you to act on purpose, but it forces you to steer clear of those time-wasting activities, because as an entrepreneur, you have to guard your time. There is nothing more important than your time and where you're placing that focus. So getting strategic allows you to get in, get on, and get out, as I always like to say, and ensure that you aren't placing time, energy, and focus on things that aren't allowing you to work at your highest and best, which are more than likely your money-making activities. Not that there's anything wrong with saying hey or hello to your friends or family, but there is a time and place for that. There is also a time and place for you to be very strategic about your business. So if you want to save yourself countless hours on social media, I want you to answer a few questions. So first of all, how does social media work in harmony with your other offline and online efforts? So if you are a local business, let's say you're a local bakery and you've got offline events that are happening, you're driving traffic into your store, how does that work in tandem with your online marketing? And if you're a digital marketer, everything you do is online, how does your time spent on social media support everything else you're doing? So how does it support your website, your lead magnets, your blog, maybe your YouTube channel? So all of those videos that you're creating, you have to make sure that everything is not only a seamless experience for your audience, but seamless for you as well. So you know how one thing supports another, but you also know how one leads into the next. And next question to answer is, what does social media success within your business look like? You know, this is a question that oddly enough, I ask a lot of my clients, and many don't have an answer. They don't have a very clear picture of what it looks like to cross that finish line. So envision yourself getting to social media success, and what has that done for your business? Has it given you 100 new customers? Has it increased your income by $100,000? Get very specific in what that success looks like. And then I want you to think about which social channels support your business growth. Because, yeah, it might be fun to play around on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, but if it's not actually bringing you traffic, leads, and sales, then you're wasting your time. So go ahead, take a look at your Google Analytics, take a look at Facebook and Instagram and Twitter analytics. Make sure that your time plus your effort equals your maximum results. And if you're not getting the most out of certain channels, it doesn't mean that you have to kick that strategy to the curb all of the sudden. No, just reduce down your time and place more of your focus on that channel that is really bringing you the most engagement, the most leads, the most traffic, the most sales. So you're going to double down on what's working. And this goes hand in hand with the next question, which is where your customers hanging out, because more than likely where you're getting results is where your customers are actually spending their time. So get used to spending your time where they are hanging out. Too often we get comfortable with the social network we like, and that is not what it's about. If you're looking to connect with the perfect client, if you're looking to connect with more customers, you have to figure out where they're most comfortable, where they're getting their information, and where they want to connect with you. And then finally, what are your customers talking about, and how can you become that valuable resource? So what is that solution they're looking for? What is that outcome that you can create for them that is going to solve their biggest problem, that is going to make them so happy they found you, they are never going to want to leave because you just continue to answer those frequently asked questions that they have, or those concerns, or those challenges, or that huge looming issue that they feel like they're never going to be able to figure out on their own. So be that beacon of light. Be that person that comes in and says, I gotcha. I understand what you're going through. And here's exactly how you push through that. Now, keep in mind as you're working through all of this and really getting your system streamlined, you need to get integrated. So determine how social media works in tandem with all of your other marketing efforts. I mentioned how online supports offline and vice versa, because once you're clear about social media's purpose in your business, your next step is then to put your plan in place. And this does not have to be an overwhelming process. If you've listened to me speak or listened to this podcast or read my blog, you know I am all about simplifying. Simplicity is really the key to sustainability. So your plan, your process can be as simple as opening up a Word or an Excel file, or for me, a Google Doc, and breaking down what content you're going to share across social media, what actions you're going to take to grow your reach, grow your engagement, grow your bottom line, connect with those people that are most important to your business. So for your actual daily plan, and this is where you're going to think about if something were to happen tomorrow that would create a scenario where I couldn't necessarily get every single thing done that I always do, what are those most important things within my social media plan that if I don't do those, I start to lose traction. I stop gaining visibility, and I'm no longer top of mind with my audience. So here I want you to think about four different things which are the what, where, when, and how of social media. And we talked about what is it that you want to achieve with social media, but here we're going to get even more specific into your daily plan, your daily strategy, and what you're using each social media channel for. So the first what is, what action are you taking? What is it that you want to achieve? So are you looking to increase your follower count? Are you looking to get more people to click through on maybe your latest webinar, your latest download? What is it that you want people to do, that action you want them to take, as well as the action that you are taking? Then I want you to think about the where. So where is this action taking place? And this is where you're going to break down each of your social channels. So I want you to think about Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all of the different places that you're spending time, and you're going to create a very easy graph. So action type is first. Then I want you to add in the where. Where is this actually taking place? Then I want you to think about the when. So when are you performing this action? And this is where you're also going to assign a time limit. And this is where a timer comes in really, really handy. So you're not letting time get away from you. So when could be, I am going to spend 15 minutes every single morning taking these 3 actions on Instagram. Now I'm going to answer the how. So how am I actually going to achieve this? How am I going to do this? This might be, what tools do I need to make this happen? How am I going to track? How am I going to measure? How am I going to engage? So this goes back to, how do I know if I've succeeded at social media? And this is where we're going to tie all of that together. So you're actually going to pay attention to those actions that you're taking, where you're taking each one of those actions, how much time you're spending on that, and what that correlates to in terms of your results. Because we don't want you spinning your wheels for weeks on end without really paying attention. So time, day, how long each and every day. So it could be 1 hour per day or 1 hour per week. I want you to get very specific, not just in the broad sense of social media, but for every single social channel. And then that how is the means. So how are you going to do this? So this could be a tool like Buffer. Just spent a little bit of time with our friends at Buffer at Social Media Marketing World, and we all know Buffer is such an easy way to schedule out content. But then, of course, you're going to need some deep analysis. So you might want a reporting tool like True Social Metrics, which is one of my favorites. And you can look at your data across multiple social channels. So there you go. I want you to think about your what, your where, your when, and your how. And I'm going to share in the show notes a link to a blog post I wrote with an example of how to break down your own action plan. And again, this can be very, very simple. Doesn't have to be complicated or difficult. It's just going to make it very easy for you to know where you're going, what you're doing on a daily basis. So you don't have to think about it. You don't have to question what you're doing. And you know that you're tracking it so that everything is going to tell you if you're on the right track. And speaking of tracking, another way to manage your social media without losing your mind is to track all of your activities. So if, again, you've lost an hour, wondered where the heck you just spent that time, a really good place to start is with a tool that will let you monitor where you are actually spending your time. So what websites, what apps are you spending time in? One of my favorites is Rescue Time. It's going to help you stop wondering where your time has gone and allow you to see exactly what is taking up the majority of your time or where you are losing your time, and will help you get that back. Another great one is Egg Timer, so you can limit your time on certain tasks, but it's very, very important, no matter what tool you use, that you are keeping track and keeping score of what is claiming your time and your attention. And if you have, and pretty much everybody does, a timer on your mobile device, well, use that. It can be that simple to say, hey, Siri, set a timer for 30 minutes. So don't overthink this. Oh, and there's Siri now. Done. She loves a good countdown. Don't you love that? See? instant gratification. And now that you know the who you're talking with on social media, the what, the when, the where, the how, all of that, now you need your daily social media checklist, because your checklist is, again, that other piece that's going to allow you to be consistent, doing the same things day in and day out without questioning, oh, wait a second, did I do that? Or did I go over there? Or did I get that done? You got to get that stuff out of your head and into a strategic checklist. And if you know me at all, you know I am the queen of checklists. I love checklists because they do what? They simplify your process. They also create consistency, and they get rid of any doubt as to whether or not that has actually happened. So I want you to think about where you're showing up. So which social networks, and then I want you to think about what are those actions that you need to take every single day, and you're going to write those down. And if you're not real sure where to start, I will drop a link into the show notes for a daily social media checklist that's going to give you everything to do. So everything from replying to all comments on Facebook, on Instagram, and how to be grateful and generous and give a very thoughtful reply. And then thanking anybody that's shared your content, or going out and finding those influencers or those people that you want to engage and interact with on a daily basis. So staying top of mind. And then Twitter and LinkedIn and Instagram and Pinterest and YouTube and everywhere else that you're spending time. I've got a checklist for you that's going to give you, maybe 5 simple things that you can do on a daily basis. And they seem simple, but you do these day in and day out, and I guarantee they will transform your results on each of those social channels. And then finally, this last one is so important that I think I'll do a whole podcast on it. It is the art of delegation, and how to find those right people to surround yourself with that can take some of the load off of you, so you are not feeling tired and overwhelmed and stressed because you have so many social media tasks or to-dos, you don't even know where to begin. And I can tell you that as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, giving away certain to-dos can be very difficult. You can want to hang on to things because you're a perfectionist or because you've always done it, but it is 100% necessary. I have been an entrepreneur for over 20 years, and I have had a team for almost that long. Of course, it's been an ebb and flow, and my team has changed, but my current team has been with me for close to 4 years, and it is amazing what we are able to accomplish because we all have our unique strengths, and it's all about surrounding yourself with people that have a very special gift in an area that complements you, that supports you and allows you to run instead of walk, that allows you to get more done without feeling as if you're burning the candle at both ends. And I know that as I talk with so many entrepreneurs every day, that delegation is a struggle. But believe me that when you start to figure out how to properly manage, properly train other people on those activities or those to-dos that somebody else could take, it is going to free you up to focus on those things that allow you to work at your highest and best. So maybe it's sales, maybe it's going out and finding new customers, whatever your genius is, wherever your genius lies, you need to be firmly entrenched. You need to be sitting in that every single day, and you can't do that if you're trying to manage every teeny tiny thing within your business. So I want to tell you right now that you You have a responsibility to your business to find that right person, to find that person that can help take some of the burden off of you. Because instead of looking at it from those self-limiting beliefs of, well, I can't afford that, Rebekah, I can't find that person that's going to do it exactly the way I do it. You know what? Yeah, okay, you're right. Not everybody is going to do things exactly the way you do it, but that's okay. In fact, it's really okay, because if you find the right person, they're going to do it 100 times better than you. And on the piece about money, I would tell you, you can't afford not to do it. You are limiting yourself. You are holding yourself back by not putting that right person in place. You know, as David Allen, one of the world's most influential thinkers on personal productivity, puts it, you can do anything, but not everything. So think about, what is it that you need to be doing every single day? Nobody else can do it. You are the best of the best at it. It is what makes you successful. It's what brought you to where you are today. It is why you do what you do. When you think about it that way, and you think about how delegation can be the most powerful tool that you can access, and its implementation is critical to your success, all of a sudden, it doesn't feel so scary, right? All of a sudden, it doesn't feel as if it's out of reach. So for you, I want you to sit down and I want you to think about what you can delegate. I want you to think about, what are those things that you can give away? It could be everything from copywriting to social media management to video editing. So many different things that you can give away that you don't need to hold on to within your business, within your brain. It's just holding you back. So sit down within your favorite word editor, your Word doc, sit down with your favorite note app, whatever it is, and just do a bit of a brain dump into, if I gave these things away right now, I would have 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours out of my day that would allow me to focus on, and I want you to write down those 3 areas of genius that you, if you focused 3 more hours a day on that, would radically transform your business. And so I want you to write those 2 things down, because those can be life-changing, business-changing. Those can allow you to do what I'm doing, which is pick yourself up, work from anywhere, live from anywhere, and still manage your business without you losing a beat. And you can do this. I promise you, you can do this. You can manage your social media without it feeling terribly overwhelming, but you do have to be willing to do some hard work, look at your strategy, look at your daily plan, put that checklist in place, manage yourself, manage your time, manage your focus, manage where you're showing up, and then most importantly, delegate and give away those things that are time-sucking activities and do not help you actually get to that next phase in your business, get to where you want to be. So put all of that into a plan for yourself and start to work that every single day. Start to stick with that on a consistent basis. And little by little, you're going to start to see that momentum. You're going to start to see yourself gain that traction. But to do that, you got to commit to it. And this is all where you begin. So there you have it. A few secrets to managing social media without feeling overwhelmed, without losing your mind, without losing a ton of time within your day. And I've talked a lot about the tools, how to measure social media impact. Episode 7, if you want to go back and listen to that, is a great one on that. And you can pair all of that with everything that I just talked about today. So the most important thing is you find a system that works for you, that it's not working on you, you and not causing further frustration within your day and your business. You have to embrace it all as a process and know that your process is a work in progress. And what you're doing today isn't necessarily going to be that sustainable action that you're going to do next week or the next month, because social media channels change, your strategy changes, your business changes. And so you've got to be fluid in that sense. And when you have that strategy and plan in place, it gives you the freedom to be able to go with the ebb and flow and change. That is not only social media and your business, but also that ebb and flow of life. Thanks so much for listening to the Brand Authority Podcast. Just a quick favor for you. If you've been listening and you love this show, would you please pop over to iTunes and first of all, click subscribe. And then second, please leave your feedback in the way of a review. Your reviews are what help other people find us. And I am just so appreciative of the time that you give me, not only here, but in sharing my content on a daily and weekly basis with your audience as well. So until next time, I hope you have a fantastic week, and I'll see you right back here on the Brand Authority Podcast.